The Federal Character Committee meeting with Rural Electrification Agency. Focusing on human resources duty of the agency, the chairman of the committee, Honorable Abubakar.
Just a brief about your agency, please. Just a brief about your agency. What are you doing there?
The Rural Electrification Agency under the Federal Ministry of Power and was saddled with the responsibility of providing power to unserved and underserved areas. That is areas that currently are off-grid, meaning areas where the national grid has been unable to reach. So we do so by providing power via various technologies spanning from grid extension projects to mini grids, solar home systems, and in certain instances, injection substations. So these are the few things that we do at the REA. So we're saddled with that responsibility of taking power where it hasn't been able to reach via the national grid.
Focus on the human resource activities of your agency. I think before we go deep into that, I would like to read some part of the Constitution, some portions of the Constitution, so that we can carry ourselves all together and for you to know where the committee has the mandate to invite you and appear before it is before today. Head of Legal, Section 14, subsection 3. Have you seen it? Good. Where it is stated that the composition of the government of the Federation or any of its agencies and the conduct of its affairs shall be carried out in such a manner as to reflect the federal character of Nigeria and the need to promote national unity and also to command national loyalty, thereby ensuring that there shall be no predominance of persons from a few states or from a few ethnic or other sectional groups in that government or any of its agencies. Section 14, subsection 4 further states that the composition of the government of a state, a local government council, or any of the agencies of such government or council, and the conduct of the affairs of the government or council or such agencies shall be carried out in such manner as to recognize the diversity of the people within its area of authority and the need to promote a sense of belonging and loyalty among the peoples of the Federation. Go to the third schedule, part 1C, section 8, subsection 1. It is stated that in giving effect to the provisions of section 14, subsection 3 and 4 of this Constitution, the Commission shall have the power to A. Work out an equitable formula subject to the approval of the National Assembly for the distribution of all cadres or posts in the public service of the Federation and of the states, the armed forces of the Federation, the Nigerian Police Force, and other government security agencies, government-owned companies and the parastatals of states. B. Promote, monitor, and enforce compliance with the principle of proportional sharing of all bureaucratic, economic, media, and political force at all levels of government. C. Take such legal measures, including the prosecution of the head or staff of any ministry or government body or agency which fails to comply with any federal character principle or formula prescribed or adopted by the Commission. In the standing order of the House of Representatives, it provides that there shall be a committee to be known as Committee on Federal Character at the commencement of the life of the Honorable House. 2. The committee's jurisdiction shall cover A. Oversight of the Federal Character Commission. B. Investigating complaints of non-compliance with the Federal Character Principle by ministries, departments, and agencies and advising the House thereon. C. Ensuring that the Commission complies with the function assigned to it in the Constitution. And D. Promoting, monitoring, and ensuring compliance with the principle of proportional sharing of all posts at all levels of government. And lastly, ensuring that all appointments into every public company or sector of the economy or polity and the corporation reflects the federal character in its director and senior management cadres. Distinguished colleagues, our guest, I think the head of legal is very much aware of these provisions, right? Good. The committee received document from REA and we made an analysis. And according to the analysis made, so far the committee established that The distribution per state is grossly inadequate. I would like, before I open the floor for honorable members to make their comments, give MD some few minutes to comment on the imbalances in the REA, and where members feel they can make an observation or comment or questions, I'll give them floor to make such comments.
Explains he's just a year old in office and has not done any recruitment since he resumed office.
Last year, so I'm just about a year old now within the agency. So as we came in, this is what we met on ground, and moving forward, nothing has actually changed since then. So we haven't had any additional exercises, so and I agree with the Honorable Chairman that perhaps there needs to be improvements in this current submission that has been made, and we're more than ready and willing to abide by any guidance that we receive from this committee moving forward to ensure that when next we're called, these issues raised today have all been fully addressed.
What kind of staff do you have?
Permanent staff. And pensionable, sir.
That's the only category of staff do you have?
Yes.
You don't have contract staff?
Contract being NYSC, yes.
You don't have casual staff?
Maybe cleaners and
who is paying them?
the agency.
That's why I ask you.
Okay, sorry.
How many
Apologies.
categories of staff do you have?
Okay, 2.
You should have explained.
Yeah,
that you have
apologies.
calls.
Yes. So 3. Or should I? Let me allow my.
Then the casual staffs, I will call them sort of the cleaners and mainly casual staffs and the main staffs, the permanent staffs.
Is this casual staff?
Then we have staffs that have been posted to the agency from either BPP. We have staffs on those agencies.
What do you call them? Are they part of your permanent and
They are
pensionable staff?
full staff, sorry.
They are full staffs.
Yes, full.
MD. Is it MD? Yeah. Yes. From the analysis of the committee, REA has a total number of 157 staff. Is it right?
Yes.
Eh? Is it right?
157 staffs.
Yes.
Including the ones from BPP posted into the agency. Yes, sir.
Okay. Number of the full staff you have? 14. Good.
From BPP and Accountant General's office.
Eh?
From BPP and Accountant General's
And the Accountant General office?
Yes, sir.
They are all 14?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Having met these imbalances in the agency, have you taken any step to make corrections?
Essentially, what I found on ground in terms of an agency, given the mandate that I read out to you earlier, fundamentally, we needed to be able to cater for the mandate of the agency a bit better than we already have done. So what I've done so far is to be able to assess the agency in terms of doing somewhat of an institutional assessment, which I felt is something that will be inclusive of all my colleagues, so that we can actually have a structure that supports the mandate that we currently have. In this structure, we also have zonal offices who actually work with our projects department within the field. So some of the things you see is that you need perhaps more expertise around what we have within the zones, So I'm looking at it from a holistic standpoint to be able to bring about a solid structure that would support the mandate and get to the projects that we want. Because as you are fully aware, sir, electricity is something that currently the country needs. From some analysis that we have over 80 million Nigerians that are not connected to power, which is what we are trying to cover. So what we have on ground as an agency in terms of the structure certainly needs to improve to be able to cater for the needs of the people and the industry process. But usually you hire maybe a third-party organization, if you'd say. December 24th.
December 24th.
Yeah, 2019. Yes, but that was when I was appointed. But I resumed 2nd of January.
2nd of January.
Yes.
From then to now, have you made any recruitment, even a single one? No.
No.
You have not done that?
No.
Okay.
I had the chairman asking questions about the categories of staffs you have. And from your response, it is clear you have two. Some that are posted from Accountant General's office, and then PBN, is it PPN or PBN? The other categories of staff? Okay. So you have two. Is it REA that is responsible for their salaries? The ones that are posted to you people? Do you pay them?
Yeah, I want to ask that how many numbers of the casual labor do you pay their salary on a monthly basis? Then, number two question is that I just want to know whether all the staff under the agency, all your staff, do you take full responsibility of disciplinary actions against any of them? Both the posted one and the full staff from the head of service to your agency.
I want to know, before the new MD came in, the three most senior staff, were you in REA before the new MD assumed office? Yes or no, please?
Yeah, I came in with the MD. I'm the Executive Director of Corporate Services.
9 years.
9 years. You have been...
18. We had an approval for 120 to recruit 120. But unfortunately, we didn't have the budgetary provision. So it's still...
Government, governance, and office is continual. So you should first of all admit and accept the responsibility that being the MD, even if he assumed office yesterday, what he met on ground is still at the ends of their affairs. And I hold on to the fact that he has actually said yes, efforts are on to reconcile with the Constitution, because they have greatly breached that. But they said they want to reconcile with the Constitution. I still want to take that they want to reconcile with the Constitution, but this must be outlined. And I don't want to fail to say one thing, Mr. Chairman, because by what you have read out in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for this equity, balance, and distribution, the import of it is for effectiveness and efficiency. Because I don't know how you're going to have 36 states of the Federation, and then agency like that has so much responsibility like their own will be operating with only 157 staff. And whatever this committee of course can do to assist them at increasing the required manpower, they should be able to tell the chairman and the committee.
Take your writings and respond to some questions before I allow this motion whether to sustain or not.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairman, and thank you very much, honorable members, for all your questions. The category of staff and their payment. So at the moment, the REA is taking up responsibility for those payments, pending when we have, if we have the allocation for it. However, there was a motion that was moved that we should come up with the various categories. So I think I will just need to clarify exactly who is being paid from where and come back to you with that information if the chairman permits me to do that. terms of the payments. So to my knowledge, everything is being paid by us at the moment, but I just want to clarify with my Director of Funds just to be sure. Okay, our city projects that you see were being done, of course, by the private developers. However, with the agreement that we have with them, most of them go through a one-year operations and maintenance contract. And with the zonal offices that we have, those are the offices that actually support those universities. So at the end of that one-year contract, the idea is to hand over the asset to the university, and they go into a contractual agreement in some cases with the private developer, where they will have trained them within that 1 year through the we build the training centers for them within the agency, within the university, and they take over the operations and maintenance. So I don't know
MD,
where. Yes, sir.
MD, the committee is staff that are handling those projects.
No, pay for them, but we don't have permanent staff in the universities. So it's the contractor that remained there for the 1 year O&M, where we hand over to the universities after that period. That was what I wanted to clarify.
So you mean you are not paying anybody to manage any project beside your zonal officer or zonal staff?
That's correct, sir.
That's correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.